It's officially time for the playoffs here in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode, and it kicks off at NASCAR's all-new Denver Motor Speedway. Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. Hope you're all having a great day. We're taking on the brand new track here on the schedule, Denver Motor Speedway. 16 playoff drivers are set to fight out for a 3-race round of 16, where we head to right here from Denver, then we head to Talladega, and we cap it off with New Hampshire and then have 12 drivers remaining. We had breaking news this weekend. Kyle Busch, Trackhouse number 99, he will be retiring from full-time Cup Series racing following Season 5 of this career mode. We heard rumors all season long, and as he is on the cusp of his final playoff run, he made the news official. Kyle Busch will be the second driver at least to leave Trackhouse at the end of the season. Of course, he is stepping away from racing full-time in general. We as well have heard rumors of Connor Zilisch potentially leaving Trackhouse Racing, as they have continuously been in a bit of a downfall. Although they have managed to get almost all their cars in the playoffs, it's certainly looking like they are still on a downfall. We know Shane Van Gisbergen is leaving already as well. So the question is, what is Zilisch going to do, as well as what does Ross Chastain do as well? There's still a lot of silly season dominoes that are going to continue to fall over really the entire playoff run that we have. So this is going to be exciting because we've got a lot of silly season news and we're racing for a championship at the same time. We come in as a top seed in the playoffs, as we of course won the regular season championship. We've got the most wins on the season of 4. We've had an incredible first season with Junior Motorsports in the switch to Cadillac. It has been something that you dream of. It's been an incredible season, and we hope to keep it going right here into the playoffs as we kick it off with the first race. Of course, you're going to notice this. Yes, this is Auto Club Speedway, and it says Auto Club 400. But of course, we've modded it to look differently to present it as Denver Motor Speedway as we get ready to come through into qualifying now with this target. Number 8 got the playoff branding on the car, the yellow banner, yellow spoiler as well, and a bit of an announcement of my own. We go Next Level on board. Yes, I am now sponsored by Next Level Racing. I will have a car actually featuring their sponsorship going forward, but you see me there on the left in my brand new sim racing rig from Next Level. It's the Next Level Racing GT Racer 2.0, and I will have my own affiliate code soon for you guys to be able to use as well going forward, hopefully as soon as next episode, so stay tuned on that. Now, as you'll see them in all of my webcam stuff going forward as we qualify with a 39.852, putting us P18 to start the NASCAR playoffs here from the brand new Denver Motor Speedway. Playoff racing, qualifying more important than ever, and Kyle Larson, who missed the playoffs by just 3 points to our teammate of Hocevar on pole, Alex Bowman P2 over Blaney Bell and our teammate of Hocevar there in P5. Of course, Hocevar, the only driver that made the playoffs on points. Chase Elliott won the regular season finale in Daytona, finally getting to victory lane as he looks to go and win the championship for the second time in his career. Now, as you see the rest of the qualifying order at the bottom, Joey Logano, playoff driver, 2 wins on the season, way off, about a half second off of 39th. That is a cause for concern. Truck Series action, Tanner Gray won at the all-new Denver Motor Speedway. As you see the rest of your finishing order there, we had all 3 series in action for our own team on the Amazon Prime Series side of things. We had Trayton Lapsevich, fellow Canadian again, back in the car, and at Denver here for the Amazon Prime Series, it was once again Andres Perez winning as he continues to light it up in the Prime Series, looking very likely that he could land himself a spot on the Cup Series grid next season. As you see the rest of your finishing order for the Amazon Prime Series, as playoffs are about to start in both trucks and Prime. Now let's get ready for playoff racing, race 1 of the round of 16 in the Cup Series.
16 drivers, 4 rounds, 12 races. The playoffs start now from the all-new Denver Speedway. What names should we keep an eye on for these playoffs, Steve?
There's 2 obvious ones. Christopher Bell and Gary Owen can both go all the way this year. Top 2 in points last year.
It has been one incredible season, so many different winners, and it has led to quite a versatile playoff grid. Now, I will be taking a look at the points at the end of every stage, but I won't be really giving updates on it in the round of 16 until we get towards the final race, because there's just so many different drivers, of course, and how things can change up. But nonetheless, we're ready to go racing. Green flag is out, and we are underway. The NASCAR playoffs kick off here from Denver Motor Speedway. Kyle Larson, your non-playoff driver. Of course, he missed several races due to injury. Came back with Hendrick for Daytona. Got cleared. It was a bit of a risk, but they took a gamble to try and get him in the playoffs. He started that race inside the playoffs, but unfortunately lost out to Carson Hocevar, who was able to basically make the playoffs all because of the points he accumulated over Larson in the first stage of that Saturday night. Very unfortunate for Larson now, as his 3 Hendrick teammates all in the playoffs. The 48 of Carruth making his first playoff appearance. We talk about first playoff appearances not only for Rajah Carruth, but I mean as well we've got Chandler Smith in the number 18, who we likely knows out of a ride, even though he's the driver who has won compared to his teammate Ty Gibbs, who as well is not in the playoffs this season. Connor Zilich, Jesse Love as well are in their first playoff appearances in this NASCAR Heat 5 career mode as we are working our way forward. You'll notice Jesse Love doesn't have playoff branding, so I made a slight mistake and actually hit the undo button in the modding and completely erase his playoff branding. So I got to fix that for next episode, but he is in the playoffs, so pay attention to that number 33 who got that win early in the season in Iowa. Now 1 win on the season for Love. He's headed to Joe Gibbs next season to replace what should be Chandler Smith. You never know. What if Chandler Smith goes on an incredible playoff run? He could maybe keep his ride, but that would mean that Ty Gibbs would have to be the guy out. Of course, we've got big names that missed the playoffs this season that we're used to seeing winning races and being in the playoffs. Season 3 champion Ty Gibbs missed the playoffs. Season 2 champion Kyle Larson misses the playoffs. I mean, 2 really big names out. Shane Van Gisbergen, I mean, he's always been in the playoffs as kind of an underdog, and he was nowhere close to it this season. Chris Buescher as well did not make the playoffs. Chase Briscoe, I mean, there's some really big names that are just not appearing in the playoffs this season because of the different winners, of course, that we have had. As you can see, I mean, the racing here from Denver Motor Speedway is right off the bat hectic, wild, 3 wide, a lot of different lanes that you can use. As you can see Connor Zilich there, 3 wide on the outside, making things work as Christopher Bell has got the early lead over Kyle Larson, but we have continued to work our way forward into the battle for P7, P8 here alongside Zilich down this back straightaway behind this 23 of Blaney, who's side by side with good friend Chase Elliott, as I stay put in behind them for now, waiting for the right opportunity to make some moves here. But pretty confident in the speed of this target number 8, but maybe not the handling. We wash up the racetrack. We're 4 wide. Here comes Ross Chastain to the inside. We've got Trackhouse on my left, Trackhouse on my right, Hendrick Motorsports on the far right, as Elliott's backing out of it, saying, I don't want any part of that, boys. You guys have at it now. Chastain clears us into turn 1, and as the laps were going on, I was noticing the car starting to free up and passing was getting a little bit more difficult. So every lap that went by, it felt like a pass for me was getting harder and harder to complete now. As you can see, we're battling with still Zilich, Chastain, Tyler Reddick right behind us, Ryan Blaney on the far outside, right up against the outside wall. Not quite working, but he gets a pretty strong run down the back straightaway and would be able to carry the speed, but I eventually clear him on the exit of 4. Larson now back out in front of this race. Him and Bell were just kind of going back and forth as Reddick would get to my inside here into turn 1. He's going to go for a P7. We know, of course, what a season it's been for Reddick, and he's signed a deal with another team that's still not been announced yet, but looking like it's Trackhouse based off what we're hearing. But he signed to leave 2311, I mean, what, an episode or 2 before his season took off. And I'm sure, honestly, he's regretting it, because if it was Trackhouse he went to, I think it's a terrible career decision for Tyler Reddick, and it's going to be really unfortunate. And whoever's landing in that 45 car next season is really going to be winning out as we continue on. Now, as you see Connor Zilich running here in P6. Now, he's really kind of carrying the Trackhouse flag even in his first season with this team. I mean, Chastain's been right there with them for the most part. Kyle Busch has been a ways off. Shane Van Gisbergen's been a bit off, of course, as well. And as we have now got ourselves racing hard with the 54 of Ty Gibbs. Now as he gets to my inside on the exit of turn 2, he'll clear. So actually chase the car all the way up into the outside wall. Fortunately, don't really do any damage there. It's just a very light contact now as we come to lap 12 at this point, and green flag pit stops are about to kick off. We can stretch it about a good 15, 16 laps if we want, but certainly tires here at Denver, even though it's a brand new surface, it can really wear the tires up pretty quickly. So Tyler Reddick is going to be the first one to kick off green flag pit stop of the top 10 drivers, as now Larson still out in front. Expect to see him, Bell, and others coming into the pits. Actually, Bell takes the lead from Larson over the course of this 13th lap, and Bell pits. Larson stays out. I'm coming into the pits as well with Ty Gibbs behind us. Zilich is coming in as well. So we'll get down to pit speed. How about my other teammate of Noah Gregson having a great top 5 run here today from Denver, which is fantastic to see. He missed the playoffs nice to see him running well here for once. It's been a bit of a difficult season. As you see me making some adjustments, actually trying to tighten up the car a little bit because it was just getting too free as the run went on. We'll get 4 fresh Goodyear tires now, and we'll hit the track with a 15.3 after an estimated 15.4, and we leapfrog several drivers. We get out in front of Gregson, who was way clear of us when we came into the pits. We're in front of Corey Heim, who's having a great run as well, and I mean, this is going to put us in good position for the end of this stage now with less than 10 to go. Here comes Tyler Reddick in that 45, 23.11 Camry to pass us on the outside, and now as well Eric Jones, the bottom playoff seed pretty well, is as well staying out here after winning that Daytona 500, made the playoffs with that win. He is trying to maybe gamble a little bit, maybe get a fortunate timed caution, but it can only last so long. He would have to pit eventually, and we would all pass him, so it didn't quite work out now. As we have seen, some ups and downs for that front row 34 team, and we kind of expected more from them, but they just quite haven't shown it this season, as Christopher Bell takes over the lead once again, but this time he had a comfortable gap over Kyle Larson. Reddick there 1.2 seconds in front of me, and then here we are in P4. Rajah Caruth and Noah Gregson, both who are well in front of me at the time of the pit stops, are now chasing me down. Caruth kicking off the playoffs with a bang here in the 48 as well, as Bell continues the lead, coming to 3 to go in stage number 1, and I've got a mirror full of the 48 and the 88. Both of them are faster than me right now, but trying to hold on because we only got a few laps to go. Caution out, stage over, and that's actually for the 6 of Christian Eckes for RFK. Engine issues there, smoke pouring out of the back of that Miller Lite Ford Mustang. Caution flies, and stage 1 comes to an end. Kyle Busch in 26. How about Joey Logano started 40th? Clearly something's off. He is still in 40th position following stage 1. I mean, you could not ask for a worse race to have maybe the worst pace of your career. We gain 1 spot in the pits there between stage 1 and 2. 4 fresh Goodyear tires again. We're back underway, and Christopher Bell, your stage 1 winner, picks up his now 4th stage win of the season, getting another playoff point that could carry him into that next round of the playoffs. Christopher Bell last season started the playoffs winless, won the first race of the playoffs, and went to win on 4 races in the 12 playoff races that we have, and of course won his first Cup Series championship. He's trying to repeat that, but with already 3 wins under his belt this season. We're 3 wide after washing up at a turn 2. Caruth to my inside into turn 3. Corey Heim having a great run today as well, as all of 2311's looking pretty strong. Ryan Blaney maybe the weak link, as I am going backwards. Terrible restart for myself here as we head down this front straightaway to complete the first and opening lap of stage 2. Looking in my mirror, how about Jesse Love having a nice top 10, top 11 effort here today from Auto Club. He is looking strong, but of course nobody's safe in this first round of the playoffs. We have the one and only super speedway race of the playoffs in the next episode at Talladega. That is going to be a game-changing race for potentially everyone, unless the only guy it might not affect is who, if it's a playoff driver that wins this race today, of course, they'll be locked in to that round of 12. Now, if you are maybe new to the career mode, we have our own manual playoff system. It's important to note. this is not the exact same playoff format that real-life NASCAR uses. We've added 2 additional races to the playoffs, so the format is the same, 16 drivers to 12 drivers to 8 to 4, but what we've done is we've added 2 races to the playoffs and taken 2 off the regular season, and those 2 extra races are in the final 4. So instead of making the final 4 a 1-race winner-take-all, it is now whatever drivers manage to get the most points at the end of 4 races that win the championship. Now playoff implications. Chandler Smith spinning into the inside infield. Caution's gonna fly. Smoke pouring out of the hood there. Looks like an engine issue. And there's our first playoff problem of the day. And Smith is not done. He'll pit, and so will Joey Logano, who is still running 40th. I mean, they've got nothing to lose. That's a gamble call for the 22 trying to make something happen, as Reddick was actually leading at the time of the yellow. And Chandler Smith will restart at the back of the field, but he is still in the race, which is important for that 18 team now, as the green flag is back out. Everybody else stays out except for those 2 guys. And looking at the laps that we have left, we've got 16 to go. You can go approximately 14, 15, 16 laps on field, so it is going to be cutting it really close for both Smith and Logano. There is a chance that they can make it to the end of this stage and maybe get 1-2 while we all have to pit here. The other 38 cars now, as we're 3 wide. Down the back straightaway with Jesse Love and William Byron, and then Exalta 24 Cadillac. Kyle Larson's gone backwards. He had a pretty poor restart as well for the start of stage number 2. Christopher Bell on the far outside going the wrong direction as Reddick continues in the front, and here comes Rajah Caruth in the 48, your Martinsville winner from earlier this season. He won that race in Martinsville after getting so close so many times towards the end of last season, and early this season finally got that win, and then he's kind of faded ever since then. But here he is kicking off the playoffs, leading some laps now. Caruth takes the lead through 1 and 2. To the front goes that number 48 Overstock Cadillac. Ty Gibbs on my outside trying to go forward. He wants to, of course, prove that, hey, I belonged in this playoffs. I mean, we know him and Kyle Larson both belong in the playoffs. It's just, unfortunately for them, we had so many different winners, and of course Larson would have made the playoffs without any issues if he didn't have his injury. Now as Gibbs catches me off guard, gets to my inside, actually runs into us right there, and that opens the door now for Kyle Larson to go up the inside and pass us as well. As we drop down into the 8th position, we'll pull back in line behind him and eventually look back to the inside of him down this back straightaway as Christopher Bell returns to the lead of this race. So as we continue to battle it out with these guys, Corey Heim looking strong here. He, of course, missed the playoffs. It's been 3 full seasons now for Corey Heim, and things just haven't worked out. But this season, he has shown some more promise at times, and 2311 has been open about it. Denny Hamlin says, we're going to give him one more shot. Corey Heim's got one more season to prove his worth at 2311. They've been very patient with him, and they are going to give him one more season to try and make things happen. Of course, he needs to win races next season, and I mean, he needs to be aiming to win this season as well. It certainly looks like early on, Christopher Bell, as this run goes on, and we saw it in stage 1, that the long run kind of belongs to that 20 car right now, and Bell is kind of in control once we get, after about 10 laps in a run. But I mean, no matter what, he is strong all throughout a run, but really strong on that long run as we clear Connor Zilic, and now back to the inside of former teammate Ty Gibbs here. Just can't quite make it happen right there as we continue to battle it out. And I talked about the 20, but Tyler Reddick's looking good too. He goes back to the lead. It doesn't seem like the leaders can really get away from second place, so they're all kind of continuing in a battle here now. But Reddick continues out in front here as we come to lap 16 of the stage, and the field lights on at lap 16. Pit stops, here we go. Reddick is going to be the first one of the top 10 again to come into the pits, just like stage 1. But everyone's going a lot deeper into this field run than they did in the first stage. And now, coming to the end of lap 17, I'm going to pit with everybody else. I could not have gone another lap. This was the latest I could have pitted. So we're going to get our second set of green flag pit stops here from this brand new Denver Speedway. I mean, a great debut for this new racetrack. It's been a fantastic race, multi-groove or multi-lane racing, 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide, as we will head back onto the racetrack. Getting out in front of the 5, we really had to check up there. The 48 got through, however, and look at this, out in front, the 18, Chandler Smith is gambling, trying to stretch it to the end of the stage. Could he maybe steal the stage win? And on top of that, trap several drivers 1 lap down. Reddick goes by on the outside there, and all of a sudden, Christopher Bell maybe sweeping the stages, or Reddick getting a stage win right here is looking pretty unlikely. Here comes Gregson as well, who pitted a lap earlier, and as well Jesse Love in the 33. These two pitted a lap before us, and look at the difference it makes. They're going to go by us now. Gregson through. Here comes Jesse Love as well in that number 33 playoff driver, and that Lucas Oil number 33 Cadillac for Richard Childress Racing now, as they were side by side with each other as we were coming to 3 to go, but it's going to be 2 to go at the line for Chandler Smith, who's about to maybe get a playoff point, and as well 10 additional stage points, which are going to be crucial for the Joe Gibbs driver fighting for his career. And we sailed it off into turn 1 here, and we're just going to get in front of the 88. Caution is out as the leader. Chandler Smith in the 18 around into the outside wall tire. Failure, caution out, stage over, and he still wins the stage. Smith wins the stage. He'll get 10 points, but his race is over. So he just got 10 points, but he's out of the race. And now that's a surprising one. Logano had actually pitted, by the way. He did not stretch it. So what a weird ending to stage 2, and that is very much helpful because Smith being out, I guess the whole wave around did not really come into effect now. So all of a sudden we start stage 3, and all those 20 some odd cars that were trapped a lap down have actually been put back onto the lead lap. So I was very confused. And now Joey Logano and others had stayed on the racetrack. So suddenly Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, they stayed out. Alex Bowman, Josh Berry, Chris Buescher, they all stayed out. Caruth, myself on back are the only ones that pitted for 4 tires. So it's a complete just confusion kind of mess here to start stage 3. And now look at the 22. He is so slow. I mean, Logano has qualified 40th. He finished stage 1 in 40th. He finished stage 2 in 40th. He'll now be at worst 39th because the 18 of Chandler Smith is out of this race here now as we come through to complete lap 1 of stage 3, and suddenly we've got a kind of entirely new race on our hands here, developing now with 25 laps to go, and Larson again out in front with Christopher Bell right there on his back bumper, and now to his inside. We'll look to the inside of our former car in that 19, driven now by Alex Bowman. Elliott, one of the drivers that stayed out. It's been a bit of a quiet day for Chase Elliott now, and he has not racked up a whole lot of stage points, of course, this season. Or sorry, not stage points, but playoff points. Now as we go 3 wide into turn 3, I just sail it off in there. Couldn't quite clear Josh Berry. Here comes Jesse Love to the inside, 4 wide. He takes the position as Elliott backs out of it now, and we are still up to P4 with a mirror full of Connor Zilic, who would get to my inside into turn 3 and bring Ryan Blaney with them. Ryan Blaney has the most stage wins of anybody this season at 7. We're next in line with 5 stage wins, and then it's Christopher Bell in 3rd after his 4th stage win of the season that came today here in stage number 1. So Ryan Blaney, of course, has picked up 7 playoff points just from stages alone. He did get that win, of course, in the Brickyard 400 to get an additional 5 on top of that, and then some more, of course, playoff points based off of his regular season standings finish here, as we are now fighting with this 23. Blaney's been quite quiet here as well from Denver as he continues to try and just pry away at any position he can get now. Of course, the worst playoff runners today have been Kyle Busch, Joey Logano. Chandler Smith's now out of the race, but he was running pretty good before that as we continue to fight with the same drivers I feel like we've been fighting with all race long. Connor Zilic has kind of been in my mirror or right out my front windshield or side by side with me pretty well all 50 laps of this race so far, as Larson and Bell are continuing to fight for the lead. Reddick has some work to do, and so does Rajan Caruth. Those guys have been top 5 all day. They're trying to work their way back forward with less than 20 to go now. 19 laps remain here from Denver Speedway's debut to the NASCAR calendar. We have another new track coming to the schedule this season in the playoffs as well. Don't forget Nashville replacing Kentucky, so stay tuned for that one. We'll be headed there soon enough as well as we continue to lap 54 of 70. Bell, Larson continuing to trade the lead back and forth, but yet they're still driving away from the field as Corey Himes moved back up into P6. We're looking to the inside of that 33 for P3 into turn 3. Can we take the lead, or sorry, the lead? Can we take P3 from Love into the outside wall? It's the 48 right front down on Rajan Caruth, and a typical issue we've seen all season long, all throughout his career in the 48, tire issues. And very luckily, for Rajah Caruth. Of course, he's going to go to the back of the field, but he's still in this race. We know that 48 has top 5 speed. Don't write off Rajah Caruth to make a comeback before this race is over. As we gain a spot in the pits, 4 tires and fuel, no adjustments, and now we're P3, row 2. For the restart, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, your front row with 13 laps to go in the playoffs opener here from this brand new Denver Speedway. We get a good run. We're going to make it 3 wide for the lead here from Denver into turn number 1 with help from the 11 of Corey Heim. Bell certainly not going to appreciate that one. He left the door open. We took it. We caught him off guard into the lead. Here we go out of turn 2. Down this back straightaway, a mirror full of Toyotas there of the 20, the 11, the 23 as well of Ryan Blaney. Don't rule him out yet as we sail it off into 3 in control of this race. Can we hang on as we come to 12 laps to go? When we cross the stripe, we push wide on the exit of 4. That's been an issue on the short run. The car's been quite tight, and that opens the door for Corey Heim seeking his first Cup win. Wheel to wheel, we lead the lap just barely, but now to the lead goes Corey Heim, and now 2311 is in control with their only driver, of course, that's not in the playoffs now, Christopher Bell. To my inside, Larson's 3 wide on the outside of the background. Same for Connor Zillich. They're both going backwards now. How about Justin Haley and the number 60 for RFK, who's into the mix now as we go. Next level racing on board here on lap 59, coming to lap 60. It'll be 11 to go at the line, right to the back of that Rheem Toyota Camry of Bell, who wants to lead back of this race now, as it's all Toyota 1, 2, and 4 right there with the Cadillac in between them all as we hit lap 60. And now you see Bell trying to make that outside lane work. He leaves the door wide open for myself to slip up the inside here and try to get the position up to P2 for a moment, but then 20 is going to have the momentum down the back straightaway. Christopher Bell will not be defeated today. He has been on it all race long. No matter what's been thrown at him, he's found a way to get himself up here in the mix now as we continue to fight it out through 3 and 4. Again, Bell all the way to the outside wall. We're clear. I'm gonna leave him the racing room right there as we head down this front straightaway. Shane Van Gisbergen crashes on the exit of turn 4. Caution out, and it's gonna be a late race restart with less than 10 to go in the playoff opener. And we were just in front of the 20 of Christopher Bell, putting us now on the front row for the restart, which is not really what I wanted to do there, as you see me messing around with the camera on the left. But nonetheless, we stay next level racing on board here now. Heim, myself, your front row for a restart. It's 7 laps to go. Is it going to be a non-playoff driver winning the playoff opener? Or will one of the playoff drivers take the win? Bell, myself, Blaney, maybe even Larson gets back in here and gets to the non-playoff drivers winning. Bell's going to do the same thing I did on the previous restart. He forces it 3 wide. He's going to dish it out just like I dished it out to him. The top two drivers of the regular season going at it, trading blows on restarts now as we head side by side down this back straightaway. Heim backed out of it, letting us race it out here into turn 3. Here comes William Byron for Hendrick Motorsports. A quiet day for the Exalta Cadillac, but he is in the mix now, and Jesse Love, don't count out that 33. Bell clear on the exit of turn 4, coming to 6 laps to go here from Denver Speedway. What a race it's been. The restarts have been chaotic now. We forced Bell 3 wide on the previous restart. He throws it right back to us here on this one, and now William Byron has joined the equation for the potential race victory as we exit turn 2. And now we're going to keep this fight going. I don't want to just back out of it and get to the inside, although that would probably be the best option for me, just so I could get down in line. But we're going to keep it on the outside here into turn 3, but that's the problem, just getting tight. And Byron will clear us now as we exit turn 4. Jesse Love to my inside. Here comes now as well Gibbs and Corey Heim into the mix. Tyler Reddick has clawed his way back. I can see him in my mirror behind that 54 on the inside of the 11 of Heim. So don't rule out that 45, but he might need a caution if he wants to try and win this race, and Sill as well. He needs a few positions of gain if he wants to really go for the win as we exit turn 2. Byron washes up a little bit behind the 33. We force a 3 wide middle as we come to 4 laps to go, this time back around to the start finish. Reddick to my inside now as we just got to get this car to rotate, and it's so difficult, especially when you're 3 wide in the middle now, as Byron starting to go backwards here. As we come to the line, it's all Christopher Bell. He's all on his own. He's got no pressure as we get a nice run to the back of the 45, pulling back out of line to the inside. Ty Gibbs into P2, a driver that feels he certainly should be in the playoffs. Just missed the Final Four last season by a single point to the eventual champion of Bell, as we slip and slide into the door of the 33, really leaning on Jesse Love right there, who has been probably the best performing unexpected driver in the first playoff race. Now here comes Reddick again to my inside as we approach 3 to go. We're 3 wide, middle again, behind us to 3 wide. It's 3 rows of 3 wide. I mean 3 by 3 by 3, quite literally, as we head into turn 1 now. And Corey Heim looks to my left rear. I throttle up just to try and get clear of the 33 of Love, which we do, but here comes Heim again to the inside. This is the Corey Heim we've been waiting for to see in the Cup Series. This is the Corey Heim we could really see light this career mode on fire, maybe late in this season, going into next season, as we have a bit of contact with him into turn 3, and that's going to give us a few positions of loss as Larson goes through, and so does Love. Now coming to 2 laps to go. Bell leads at the start-finish, hoping for no caution as we look to the inside of the 33 into turn number 1. There it is, yellow, it's for the 24, tire down. Playoff implications again for a Hendrick car. It was the 48 first who's rebounded quite well, and Byron's going to have to go all the way to the back. He remains in the race for NASCAR overtime, but the damage is done. He's going to go nowhere in 2 laps. He is about to lose a lot of points. He's probably going to give up 25 to 30 points because of that tire issue right there. That is huge. NASCAR overtime for the first race of the playoffs is underway from this all-new Denver Speedway. Bell and Reddick, your front row, with a second row filled of non-playoff drivers, and as well, don't rule out the number 5 as we head down into turn number 1, and as well, Noah Gregson in the 88 here in the mix as we roll through 1 and 2, 16 playoff drivers. You wouldn't expect a good 4 or 5 of the top 10 to not be in the playoffs, but here we are down the SPAC straightaway with the 33 of Love heading down into turn 3. Every point matters, especially for a guy like Jesse Love, who doesn't come in with the best buffer in the playoffs. Now, as you can see, a slip and slide through turn 3 up the racetrack now, opening the door for my teammate of Noah Gregson. White flag in the air, and here comes Raja Karuth as well in the 48. White flag is out. Christopher Bell looking to tie myself on most wins on the season at 4, as we have gone back and forth all regular season long. And now Bell is looking to take control as we start the playoffs. We're 3 wide through 1 and 2 with Gregson and Heim, who goes backwards there. He gives up some positions late in this race, but it's still been a great race nonetheless for the 2311 driver. Down the back straightaway into turn 3 for the final time. Can we get one more spot out of it now, as it's all Christopher Bell? Look at Heim, sends it 3 wide middle. What a move out of turn 4. However, it's Christopher Bell who's going to come through to win the opening playoff race here from Denver Speedway, as we just barely beat the 11 but can't quite get the 88. Bell locks himself into the round of 12. My goodness, you see the finishing order. What a race. And, I mean, Josh Berry, P17, Hocevar, unfortunately, in 19th. Kyle Busch, 29th. A terrible first race of the playoffs for him in his final season now that we know of. Logano actually did beat a couple cars, surprisingly. He ends up 36, but he is definitely out right now on that playoff line. We look at the playoff grid, and there's the bottom 4. Kyle Busch out by 6, Logano by 5, Chandler Smith and Byron both at 3 out. As not surprising to see those 4 names based off of what happened there in their finishing positions. But for us, we're nearly 70 points above the cut line. Bell, of course, locked in. Reddick by 51, and you see the rest of the points there. Eric Jones even above the cut line, and Hocevar only by 3. Elliott, a bit of a quiet day, only 17 points above the cut line. Bowman as well, only 16. That's going to wrap it up. First race of the playoffs complete, and next episode we head to the wild one, Talladega. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.